A Step into the Past Volume 18 Chapter 11 Book 18 Chapter 11 Clash of the Titans 2 Liu Buwei was slightly hesitant to announce the commencement of the duel between Xiang Xiaolong and Guan Zongzi. To him, it is as good as announcing the death of Xiang Xiaolong. Like a bolt from the blue, Liu Niangrong jumped up from her seat and firmly declared, "There is no need to compete anymore. I have decided to disappoint official Xiang and marry Zongzi." The moment she finished her words, Liu Buwei's smile was erased from his face. Guan Zongzi was thoroughly shaken and his eyes were shining brightly, looking at Xiang Xiaolong, who is staring at Liu Niangrong with shock. This normally composed man has evidently lost his bearings. All the guests are exchanging looks of surprises with one another. In this case, the widely anticipated battle is as good as cancelled. Disappointment is written all over the faces of Du Bai and Lao Ai because they will only stand to gain regardless of the duel result. Ying Ying, Lord Chongping, Wang Xi, and the others can feel a huge burden off their chests as they sighed with relief. Qin has strict laws prohibiting private duels between military commanders, and both Xiang Xiaolong and Guan Zongzi are military commanders. Even Xiao Pan, who wanted Xiang Xiaolong to kill Guan Zongzi, had to stick to this rule and suffer the disappointment. If he insisted on their duel, it will be impossible to enforce this law in the future. The banquet hall is momentarily silent. Liu Niangrong sat down in her seat with her head lowered. Her chest is rising up and down very quickly, betraying her emotional state. After staring at Liu Niangrong for some time, Xiang Xiaolong did not know whether to be angry or amused. He acknowledged that he had offended her earlier, so she is now retaliating by making him lose face in front of everyone by using her marriage as an excuse. At the end of the day, just like Ying Ying, she favors Guan Zongzi. Liu Buwei is so incensed his face has turned completely red. Staring viciously at Liu Niangrong briefly, he rolled his eyeballs and sat down with a chuckle. To Xiao Pan sitting on his right, he sighed, "Kids can never make up their mind, but since I had given my word, I think I should decide, or I would be deceiving the world. What does Crown Prince think?" Liu Niangrong trembled strongly and raised her head. Just as she was about to say something, Guan Zongzi grabbed her hand below the table and whispered into her ear, "Niangrong should stop making things difficult for Premier Mentor." Liu Niangrong was stunned and secretly peeped at Xiang Xiaolong before lowering her head again. Xiao Pan calmly replied, "Premier Mentor's words cannot be taken lightly indeed. Moreover, it is common for people to choose a spouse by holding a martial arts competition. If Premier Mentor believes that the fight should not be cancelled and Empress has no objections, I will fully support your decision." Everyone's gaze fell onto Zhu Ji, awaiting her reply. The tension in the air is like a drawn bow. The ever-powerful Empress of Qin has complicated emotions shining from her eyes. She took a good look at Lao Ai before shifting her gaze to Xiang Xiaolong. Her face suddenly losing color rapidly, she lowered her head and proclaimed, "As Premier Mentor has recommended, the duel between Subject Guan and Subject Xiang shall proceed as normal." The air is filled with loud cheering as the atmosphere began to resume the earlier enthusiasm. On the other hand, Xiang Xiaolong can feel his heart being sliced into two, knowing that between him and Lao Ai, Zhu Ji has unreservedly dedicated her entire future to Lao Ai. Whoever that understands Guan Zongzi's ability will believe that Xiang Xiaolong will lose without question. Zhu Ji's support of the duel is as good as wishing Guan Zongzi to eliminate Xiang Xiaolong once and for all. He can only accept fate now that his relationship with Zhu Ji has deteriorated to such a state. Liu Buwei energetic laughter rang out and he barked, "Let the duel begin." The hall broke out into ear-splitting cheers and applause. The drumbeats sounded again, adding to the liveliness. After comforting Liu Niangrong softly, Guan Zongzi rose from his seat and the crowd quietened down at once. Just by simply standing up, this super swordsman, whose fame is only second compared to Xiang Xiaolong, exudes an aura of arrogance, earning the respect and fear of everyone. Stepping out of his seat, Guan Zongzi carried a smile as he enjoyed the cheering and scrutiny of the crowd. Reaching the center of the stage, he stood still at ease and bowed to the hosts, it is my happiest moment in life to exchange pointers with official Xiang. I will die with no regrets. Hearing his valiant words and his indifferent attitude towards death, the crowd became even more roused and were clapping madly and shouting at the top of their voices. Xiang Xiaolong had an ugly expression on his face. It is not so much about the fight but the pain he is undergoing from Zhu Ji's change of heart. The guests mistook it for fear and were baffled. Xiang Xiaolong took a deep breath and suppressed his surging emotions before standing up. He realized that he has been heavily affected by Zhu Ji's severing of relationship. Xiang Xiaolong is someone who values true friendship and relationships. For his friends, he is willing to forsake anything. It is because of this quality that he has won the unwavering trust of Li Yuan, Lord Longyang, Han Chuang, and Tu Xian. Despite his support for Xiao Pan, his devotion to Zhu Ji is strong too. But all he got in return for his dedication is her heartlessness, making him feel that life is meaningless. Under the gaze of the entire hall, he walked towards Guanzongzi and stopped a distance away. After paying his respects to the hosts, he looked straight at Zhu Ji's face. After their eyes met, Zhu Ji instantly lowered her head. Converting his sorrow into strength, Xiang Xiaolong vigorously laughed, "Bring my saber." Hearing the word saber, everyone was dumbfounded. Guanzongzi trembled strongly on the spot and he looked at Xiang Xiaolong with his sharp eyes. Jing Shan walked out and kneeled down, presenting the 100 battle saber in its saber scabbard. Xiang Xiaolong took the saber from him and held it in his left hand. Cries of surprise can be heard among the guests as everyone is trying to catch a glimpse of the strange-looking weapon. Even Xiao Pan was curious, what is the weapon subject Xiang is holding? Holding his saber, Xiang Xiaolong was rejuvenated on the spot as he fully abandoned all the negative emotions related to Zhu Ji. Brimming with heroism, he vociferously replied, "This is a new weapon I designed myself. It is named 100 Battle, which is taken from 100 Battles, 100 Victories proverb from Sun Tzu's Art of War." The guests began to discuss among themselves and could not wait for him to draw his weapon out of the scabbard for a good look. However, Xiang Xiaolong did not have the least intention of doing so. Lu Bue was blown away. "Didn't Xiaolong say you will fight using the flying dragon spear? Why are you breaking your promise?" Lord Chongping laughingly interceded, "Premier Mentor has misunderstood. All military books advocate ever-changing tactics to take the enemy by surprise every time. Xiaolong said that he would use a spear is to cover up his intention to use a saber, and it is an appropriate military strategy. Why did Premier Mentor say he is breaking his promise?" Lord Changping's words are firm and steady, stirring up a special emotion among those present. Lord Chongping may be the left premier, but he lacks the experience and has always been slighted by others. He knows that he lacks the ability as well and dared not be too outspoken and maintained a low profile. Presently, he spoke out righteously and took the initiative to shield Xiang Xiaolong. This shows that he is gradually gaining more confidence to assume his rightful position and contend with Lu Bue. Xiao Pan would definitely support Lord Chongping. He smiled, "Left Premier is right. Official Xiang has created this extraordinary weapon and even I cannot wait to see what it is. If Premier Mentor has nothing to add, I will announce the commencement of the duel." Suppressing his anger, Lu Bue swore to go after Lord Chongping after Xiang Xiaolong has been killed. He solemnly agreed, "Crown Prince, please go ahead." Shifting his view to the 100 battle saber scabbard in Xiang Xiaolong's left hand, a pleased Xiao Pan proclaimed, "Begin." The drums are sounded again. Everyone began to tense up. Xiang Xiaolong's supporters who did not know about the power of the 100 battle saber are so nervous their hearts seem to be stuck in their throats. First, they have no confidence in this new and strange weapon. Second, Xiang Xiaolong is known for his sword skills. With this new weapon, he will need to devise a different fighting style, and given the short time he has to practice, it is indeed an unwise decision. Po Hu is the happiest man in the hall. If the duel is called off, at the most, he will have to refund all the gamblers, but if Xiang Xiaolong wins, he will suffer a huge loss because of Wu Yingyu an exorbitant bet. Seeing that Xiang Xiaolong is introducing a new and strange weapon to fight the highly skilled Guanzongzi, he was utterly thrilled. Since ancient times, the sword has been used as a primary weapon and has an irreplaceable status in the minds of everyone. Every warrior would know how to handle a sword first, and the sword fighting culture is deeply embedded in society. This is a kind of mindset that nobody can change in a short while. Except for Ji Yanran and those who knows about the 100 battle saber, Xiao Pan has the most confidence in Xiang Xiaolong. His hero worship for Xiang Xiaolong has begun since he was a child, and there is nothing that can convince him otherwise. The other person who dared not underestimate the 100 battle saber is Xiang Xiaolong's opponent, Guanzongzi. From his acute senses as a top expert swordsman, he can detect the strong confidence and powerful aura that is emitting from Xiang Xiaolong the minute he held onto the 100 battle saber. The drums gradually stopped. The banquet hall is completely noiseless except for the sounds of heavy breathing or occasional coughing. By now, every guest has squeezed themselves into the main hall, and there are even people sitting in between the tables. Both men slowly turned around and faced each other. Holding onto long strike sword sheath, Guanzongzi bowed. Official Xiang is full of surprises every time, and you never fail to interest me. Regardless of the duel outcome, I am full of admiration for you. Xiang Xiaolong can feel a sensation from the saber scabbard. The scabbard containing the number 1 saber of China is no ordinary scabbard. It contains chromium alloy which Uncle Qing formulated. It will not rust and can even be used as a blocking weapon. Guanzongzi has no idea about this, but Xiang Xiaolong will not hide this fact from him too. He smiled back, Official Guan must be careful. My 100 battle saber scabbard can double up as a weapon too. His eyes flashing with mixed emotions, Guanzongzi nodded, thanks for reminding me. Please give me some pointers. Grinning from the corner of his mouth, Xiang Xiaolong glimpsed briefly at Lao Ai's men. Han Ji is looking at him so seriously as if he is the one fighting Guanzongzi. A table away, Liu Niangrong's face is filled with despair, and she is looking at them with panic in her eyes. When she caught Xiang Xiaolong looking at her, her lips quivered slightly, but she did not shy away from his glance. Finally resting his eyes back on Guanzongzi, Xiang Xiaolong smiled, Are you ready? Guanzongzi took 3 steps back, and with a zhong, he drew long strike sword and adopted an attacking stance with the sword diagonally across his chest and the sword tip pointing at Xiang Xiaolong. A gust of strong killing aura instantly enveloped the entire hall and filled everyone's mind with fear and danger. Zhong. His eyes shining like electricity, Xiang Xiaolong stared hard at Guanzongzi. At the same time, he leaned forward slightly and partially drew out the 100 battle saber. The bright flash of the saber created an immense fighting pressure that seems to totally surround Guanzongzi. Everyone stopped breathing in anticipation of an earth-shattering fight. Xiang Xiaolong bellowed, Official Guan, please. His eyes turning even sharper, Guanzongzi seriously replied, Official Xiang, please. Others may be thinking that Guanzongzi is being modest, but only Xiang Xiaolong understands that he is not familiar with the might of the 100 battle saber and has decided to defend first, countering movement with stillness. In a low voice, Xiang Xiaolong warned, The 100 battle saber never loses. Official Guan, please be careful. Zhong. The 100 battle saber finally left its scabbard, but not many people are able to see how it looks like. Nobody has expected this 100 battle saber to be so domineering. Even Teng Yi and the rest who have fought against this saber before could not imagine the saber to have such an overwhelming effect when used to fight with all of Xiang Xiaolong's might. As everyone look on, the 100 battle saber exited the scabbard like a flash of rainbow, and with Xiang Xiaolong's swift advance, it transformed into a lightning attack. The distance between the two men disappeared as the saber chopped down heavily on Guanzongzi. All the guests were amazed by the attack, but yet nobody cried out. Guanzongzi was taken aback at he did not expect an all-out first attack from Xiang Xiaolong. Shifting a step to his side, he steadied his horse stance and met his blow head-on with his own sword. Dang! The clashing sound resonated throughout the hall. The whistling sound of the saber cutting through the air has everyone captivated. When the two weapons met, Guan Zongzi's body was terribly shaken along with the loud clashing sound. He may have successfully parried Xiang Xiaolong's devastating blow, but it is something that is definitely not easy. This chopping attack has been executed with every single effort of Xiang Xiaolong, creating a terrifying aura. However, the disadvantage is that he cannot follow up quickly with a second blow. Xiang Xiaolong was alarmed too and had assumed that this chop can make Guan Zongzi move back by at least half a step. However, Guan Zongzi managed to stay rooted to the spot and absorb the impact of his first blow. Guan Zongzi's martial arts have indeed improved vastly. No wonder people who are close to him have been trying to dissuade Xiang Xiaolong from fighting him. Based on Guan Zongzi's high level of fitness, it is really hard for him to become even better. For him to reach this new level of fitness, Xiang Xiaolong is the main reason. Without Xiang Xiaolong as a motivation and a form of competition, Guan Zongzi will never reach his current peak. After utilizing all his strength, Guan Zongzi managed to block Xiang Xiaolong's attack. He thought that he will be in danger if Xiang Xiaolong continued with more blows like this. Now that Xiang Xiaolong has yet to recover, he made use of his body weight and pushed back at 100 Battle Saber with long strike sword. Ao! The friction between the saber and the sword created an annoying noise. Ultimately, Xiang Xiaolong's arm strength is inferior to Guan Zongzi's and was pushed 2 steps back. Ji Yanran and the others lost some color on their faces. Making full use of this advantage, Guan Zongzi withdrew long strike sword and made another attack at Xiang Xiaolong's exposed left side. At the same time, he shifted sideways and exited the attacking range of the 100 Battle Saber. Moreover, Guan Zongzi is a left-handed swordsman and he has the advantage in terms of angle, speed, and strength. He is in a superior position. Just as Xiang Xiaolong's supporters could not bear to look any further and those who hate him or gambled that he will lose are getting ready to go wild with happiness, Zhang. Using his left hand holding the scabbard, Xiang Xiaolong executed a Mozi defending attack move and successfully blocked Guan Zongzi's killing strike with plenty of energy left over, forcing Guan Zongzi to retreat with astonishment. No matter which side they are on, everyone was stunned at Xiang Xiaolong's unexpected move. Blocking an attack using a scabbard is nothing new, but for Xiang Xiaolong to use his left hand to block the attack with his scabbard as if it was a weapon is something new and refreshing. There has never been any precedent. This is a wonder strategy that Xiang Xiaolong thought of recently to cover up 100 Battle Saber's weakness at defending. Of course, if his opponent is not Guan Zongzi, 100 Battle Saber's forceful attack would have been sufficient to overcome them. But in the earlier scenario, the 100 Battle Scabbard would serve as an additional protection. Mozi swordplay is the best defensive swordplay in the world and it will be a waste not to use it. This swordplay can still be performed by using the 100 Battle Scabbard. And this is also possible because chromium has been used in making the scabbard. All these conditions have resulted in the present 100 Battle Saber play. Among all the swordsmen Guan Zongzi has ever fought, only Xiang Xiaolong is able to force him to retreat in the last battle and the present one. He was groaning inside when a flash of saber appeared in front of his eyes. Like a tsunami, the 100 Battle Saber is crushing down on him with ferocity. Dang! Dang! The sounds of clashing filled the ears of everyone. Xiang Xiaolong began executing his full set of saber play. In the blink of an eye, he had chopped 7 consecutive times at Guan Zongzi and every chop is performed with the best angle and in the best direction. The chops are swift as lightning strikes and the whistling of the saber is piercing to the ear. As both weapons continued to clash, given Guan Zongzi's ability, he was able to maintain his position but can only defend himself from this amazing saber attacks that has incorporated science and the essence of martial arts all over the world. Finally, the crowd went wild with their cheering. The ones who shouted the loudest are the Tian sisters and the guardians. They are simply starstruck. Even top experts like Han Ji and Su Shang's faces lost color after witnessing Xiang Xiaolong's dominating attacks. The worst of them is Po Hu. He could not imagine that Xiang Xiaolong is 100 times better than rumored. Every time the 100 battle saber clash with long strike sword would be deflected slightly, providing a small opening. At the same time, Guan Zongzi will be shaken by the blow and his steadiness is gradually decreasing. By the time Guan Zongzi blocked the 7th blow, he can more or less understand Xiang Xiaolong's 100 battle saber play. Every chop actually has a weakness, but because the chop is too fierce, overwhelming and unpredictable, there is no way he can counter-attack. This is the difference between swords and sabers. A normal sword can defend well, but when up against a chopping saber, moreover it is a newly invented weapon, even Guan Zongzi would be caught unprepared and be at a huge disadvantage. The 100 battle saber is like a combination of a snowstorm and a thunderstorm, manifesting countless flashes of saber around both men. Every single chop will approach Guan Zongzi in the most unpredictable direction and angle. Xiang Xiaolong has transformed into an all-powerful mighty immortal and performed his 100 battle saber play to its best. He focused primarily on merciless attacks and did not have to worry about any counter-attacks. If Guan Zongzi can somehow retaliate, the scabbard will be used to block him with Mozi swordplay. The observers can only feel that the saber play is like a flock of grazing sheep that will go wherever they please. There is neither a beginning point nor an ending point of each chop. Guan Zongzi, who is on the receiving end of the chops, know it better than anyone else. Dang! Another loud clashing sound rang out. Using his full abilities, Guan Zongzi blocked another blow from Xiang Xiaolong but could not take the blow anymore. He staggered 2 steps backwards and his footwork is in a mess. Xiang Xiaolong knows that this is the moment he has been waiting for. With a loud howl, he took 3 steps forward, trailing Guan Zongzi like a shadow. Raising the saber above his head, he chopped down heavily at the 3rd step towards Guan Zongzi's forehead. Still as composed as ever, Guan Zongzi could not retreat in time and used his sword to block the attack as a last resort. Dang! The sword and the saber clashed again. Unable to withstand the blow, Long Strike sword was broken into 2, and just as 100 battle saber is approaching his forehead, Guan Zongzi displayed his top martial arts and shifted his head aside. Sighing, Xiang Xiaolong retrieved his saber and did not attack anymore. Guan Zongzi staggered another step back, grasping onto his broken Long Strike sword. A trail of blood can be seen on his forehead, which is caused by the saber energy. The sounds of cheering died down. Both men exchanged looks. Time seems to have stopped. After some time, Guan Zongzi threw away his broken sword and smiled helplessly. He bowed. Official Xiang's 100 battle saber is truly extraordinary. I admit defeat. He did not praise Xiang Xiaolong for his skills but only praised the 100 battle saber, indicating that he had lost in terms of weaponry and does not fully submit to Xiang Xiaolong. But this is indeed a true fact. Amidst the thunderous applause, Xiao Pan and the others could not help but secretly sighed. If not for the Long Strike sword breaking into 2, Guan Zongzi will be a lifeless corpse by now. Lu Bue is green with shock and he sat there in silence. There is no more trace of blood left in Lu Niangrong's face as she stared at both men with a lost expression. Xiao Pan secretly peeped at Zhu Ji, who is maintaining a wooden look. He then smiled. This fight is truly awesome. Grand Tutor Xiang's invention of the saber and saber play is so amazing. Xiang Xiaolong and Guan Zongzi hurriedly paid their respects to Xiao Pan. Unconsciously, everyone's gaze turned to Lu Bue, wondering if he will announce the marriage between Lu Niangrong and Xiang Xiaolong. Just as Lu Bue was fumbling, Zhu Ji dryly coughed and coldly questioned, this duel may be hedging on Niangrong's marriage, but they are not literally fighting over her. I suppose we can do away with the marriage agreement. What does Xiaolong think? Of course Xiang Xiaolong will not object. He nodded, as per Empress decision. Wang Xi stood up and walked out of the seating area. Coming to Xiang Xiaolong, he took the 100 battle saber from him and scrutinized the weapon closely. After some time, he faced Xiao Pan and reported, it is not an easy feat for Xiaolong to create such a fearsome weapon. During a cavalry skirmish, this will greatly benefit our army's attacking power. This is a great merit with far-reaching effects and is even better than conquering a city. This is considered a military contribution. I recommend that Xiao Long be promoted to be a great general and be in charge of training the three armies. At the same time, he can oversee the palace guards, imperial cavalry, imperial infantry, and protect the royal family. Will the crown prince please approve? Liu Bui and Lao Ai's expression became very ugly at the same time, but they could not intervene as given Wang Xi's status and his reasonable explanation, there is no reason for objection. Xiao Pan was overjoyed and nearly wanted to run towards Wang Xi and hug him, showing his appreciation. After all, Wang Xi had mentioned exactly what Xiao Pan was trying to implement. Pleased, he replied, my sentiments exactly. Will Empress please approve? Zhu Ji was flustered and looked at Lao Ai before gritting her teeth and replying in a deep voice, Xiao Long deserves to be a great general, but regarding the control of the three Xianyang armies is something that needs to be considered thoroughly. Xiao Pan was cursing inside as Wang Xi's suggestion was brilliant. By making Xiang Xiao Long in charge of all the armies in Xianyang city, there is no fear of any rebellions. With this suggestion, Zhu Ji cannot reject both ideas, so no matter what, she must still give face and at least make Xiang Xiao Long a great general. Xiao Pan may be feeling hateful but was powerless too. He proceeded to announce that Xiang Xiao Long has been immediately promoted to Great General Xiang. The guests are generally happy at the outcome. However, Po Hu, who has suffered a huge loss, can only stare blankly at the delicious food in front of him without any appetite. Xiang Xiao Long has begun receiving congratulatory toasts from everyone while Xiao Pan announced the Spring Festival prayers to be held 5 days later at River Wei. His announcement causes everyone to momentarily forget about the effects of the earlier duel. Noticing a disillusioned Po Hu whispering to Du Bai, Xiang Xiao Long could not help but ask his father-in-law Wu Yingyuan how much he bet on his victory. Holding back his laughter, Wu Yingyuan had a good look at the crestfallen Po Hu before whispering, only 3,000 taels of gold. Xiang Xiao Long was thunderstruck. To an ordinary man, 100 taels of gold can allow the entire family to live comfortably for their lifetime. 3,000 taels of gold is an astronomical amount. With the odds of 3 for 1, even a tycoon like Po Hu will be severely affected. The banquet is coming to a close and Liu Bui personally sent Xiao Pan and Zhu Ji to the main door. After they left, everybody began to relax and offer their congratulations to Xiang Xiao Long. Guan Zongzi and Liu Niangrong have quietly slipped away. Teng Yi and Jing Jun took this break to leave first and prepare themselves for the Qi ambush. As the guests gradually took their leave, under the company of Wu Yingyuan, Wang Xi, Wang He, Lord Chongping, Huan Yi and the others, Xiang Xiao Long left for the main door too. Ji Yanran, Qin Qing, and the other girls followed closely behind him. Lord Chongping smiled, from my deductions, there will not be many people who will dare to challenge Xiao Long in the future. Xiang Xiao Long bitterly smiled. Back in the 21st century, all the wuxia novels, movies, and drama serials will have a male protagonist who is the best fighter but will be plagued by countless troubles. He hopes he will be an exception.